Hello and welcome back to SSB Crack Exams. I'm Antratha, and in this session I'm going to give you certain tips that will help you to excel in the story narration and group discussion of the screening process in SSB interview. Right, so before I go on any longer, I want to inform you that now you can prepare for the different defense competitive exams at the comfort of your home by just logging on to our website ssbcrackexams.com or by simply downloading our mobile app from the Google Play Store. So download our mobile app right now. So let's start with the first of all timeline of the testing. So how is the test conducted? The first stage of stage 1 in SSB is OIR test, which is the officer's intelligence rating test, and after that the candidates go for PPDT. Now this is where they write a story by watching a hazy picture on the screen. After that they are given a short break and then they are called in like groups of 12 to 16 for further group testing of stage 1. The candidates are made to sit in a semicircular fashion in front of 3 to 4 assessors for a fierce group discussion in which the assessors observe the behavior and the psychology of the candidates participating in the group discussion. Now, talking about the narration of the story. So, what is the story narration? The first task in this group testing is the narration of the story, which the candidates have written a while ago, and they narrate the story in front of all other candidates and assessors. Right, the candidates narrate their story one by one in order of their chess numbers, while other candidates listen to their stories attentively. This practice of listening to the stories of other candidates is important so that an appropriate group discussion can take place later based on the stories of each other. Now, a few candidates find this habit of listening to the stories of other candidates is nonsense, and then they have a problem in comprehending the stories of others during the discussion, as well as they also face trouble in reaching to a mutual group consensus story. This reflects poorly. As a candidate doesn't know the stories of others, then he won't be able to understand the different themes of stories and will emphasize only on his story despite the disagreement of other candidates. Therefore, it is very important that a candidate understand well about the requirements to reach a mutual agreement to form a group consensus and concludes the testing well. After that, you need to remember that if he doesn't, then it clearly indicates that the candidate is poor in social adjustment and has less interpersonal skills. Handling opposing views with great skills is very common practice in the armed forces and is expected from a future officer that he is great in this regard. Also, if the candidate is able to influence the group in a positive manner so that they have taken his ideas into consideration and action to form the group consensus story, then it shows that the candidate is to lead and manage a group in an effective manner. Now, after the story narration, the fierce group discussion takes place. And what happens here? As soon as the last candidate of the group finishes with his story narration, group discussion is initiated by any member of the group. The typical time that is allocated by the assessors for the group discussion is around 10 minutes, during which the candidates have to discuss in a conductive manner and reach a group consensus mutually. Now, we have seen that whenever we are sitting with friends, family, and acquaintances during a daily course of action, or whenever we start a discussion on any topic concerning our lives with them, some kind of disagreements will appear. The conflicts that arise out of mutual discussion lead to disapproval of high order regarding each other's views and belief system. This type of emotional situation can cause stress on us, and at this moment of stress, our true self is brought out by us. So now that you know what is the process in which the story narration and group discussion is conducted and what are the purposes of conducting these kinds of story narration and group discussion in the screening process of SSB interview, it is time for you to therefore better your story narration and tackle the group discussion effectively. So here I am with certain tips that you need to remember, and the tips to better the narration and handle the GT are as follows. So first of all, you need to remember that to handle disagreements and disapprovals in a group, a candidate requires skills of the highest order. Therefore, your reaction when you are encountered by an argument by another candidate reflects how you will manage in a group. It is of high interest, therefore, for the assessors to watch candidates putting their points back and forth in an aggressive manner. They take a high interest also in the behavior of the candidates regarding his emotional stability when he is subjected to constant contradictions by his peers. Also, remember that the assessors assess the level of patience that the candidates hold and to what extent he is able to resolve the arising conflicts in the group. It is very pertinent, therefore, that the candidate is able to put across his views in a strong manner and steer away from the group towards a new direction when the discussion becomes stagnant because of constant repetitions of your arguments of similar nature, right? The third point to note is that the process of group discussion requires clear views and maximum participation from all the candidates, and the assessors focus on the fact that to which degree calmness and clear headedness you possess. So, when you first speak in the narration and afterwards in the group discussion, then certain factors are established in the mind of the candidates as well as the assessors, such as your body language, voice modulation and tone, the chosen words and phrases that you use to put your views in front of everyone. So, these factors help you in creating an influence in the minds of others, and your qualities will be shown as the discussion will further move ahead. Therefore, a candidate shouldn't fear to engage with the others, and by doing so, he should be able to influence the group positively. You should also consider the feelings as well as the views of your group members in order to steer the discussion in the support of your views, but this shouldn't be done at the cost of neglecting the interest and concerns of your group. Next, one's body language projects the aptitude of the candidate along with the mental inclination that he holds in the ongoing activity. Your body language and words should be able to balance each other, and one shouldn't be dominating with regard to another. To look interested, active, agile, and focused in the discussion, you would have to maintain your body language in such a way that you won't be taken as someone who is lethargic and is unable to comprehend the situation. Last but not the least, the quality points that you will speak instead of repetitions of a single point will bring the attention to you and will form one of the bases of your selection or rejection. You can have a fantastic story, but if you aren't able to project it in the group, then it will create a barrier for your stage 2 selection. The assessors seek a candidate that manages and leads the group while considering the best interest of the entire group and not just for him. They want to see possible OLQs in the promising candidates who will further showcase them in a better manner in the second stage of the testing. So I hope that now you have got an idea of how you can better your narration of the story and handle the group discussion. It's time for you also to start preparing for your SSP interview in a much more confident and an efficient manner. For that, you need to order these books off from Amazon and Flipkart. The links of these books are already given in the description box, so start checking them out and stay tuned to SSB Crack Exams and always stay motivated. Jai Hind.